So today we're going to be talking about the perfect elevator pitch. And and here is what I want you to understand. Um, in terms of a pitch, everyone wants to do it. Here is what I'm able to do for you. I do this and I do that, right? That is what the typical elevator pitch is. But what I want you to understand is the psychology of what you really do. You are not pitching anyone anything because no one really cares about you. And that is just a sad fact, right? People care about themselves. They care about what they're going through. So when you pitch about you, you immediately throw up a red flag. A wall comes up, right? So instead of having a pitch, determine what your product does. And then turn that around and say to the client or say to your customer, let's just say that you were selling a pen and you were selling a $10,000 pen and you were selling it to a CEO. And your pitch was, this pen is an antique or can be used as an antique, and 20 years from now it will be an investment that you won't regret. That's your pitch, right? So we have this very expensive pen that will increase in value over the next 10 years, and that's your pitch. You should buy this because you want to invest. But instead, the way that you would turn that around is the person that you're going to talk to, you want to understand how they feel about some of the investments that they've already made. What are some of the investments that meant the most to them? Do they invest? So you don't want to pitch anyone, right? You want to go, so how do you invest? Tell me about your investments. And the best way to pitch anyone is to say, tell me about you. You won. If you take that line alone, tell me about you. And whatever your thing does, tell me about you and the investments that meant the most to you or the investments that you didn't like. Tell me about that. And then they get to talking about themselves. And let me tell you, no one is hanging up on you when you ask them for them to tell you about them. Now, once they've said, I invested in art, and over time it's going to appreciate, and I do have this bottle of wine, and it's a 1952, and I really love it. I did buy a baseball card, but I'm really not sure about how that's going to, fare over the long term, but it was sentimental to me. So now you are getting a feel for, okay, this person really likes to invest and this is what's important to them. And then you can find, well, what would be what makes you invest? Like what were you looking for? And they tell you, I was looking for things that would over the long term, or I was looking for something sentimental. Whenever they tell you that was important to them, you now say, well, this pen is a really good investment because I know it's important to you that something has long-term value. And so I have this pen and I want you to hold it. I want you to touch it. Because if you can invoke the feelings from the words that they said that had the most emotional connection to investment. So if they said, I loved how when I put this on the wall, I love how it felt when I think about, the sentimental value or whatever it is. Now, these are the words that you now add to how you sell that pen, right? Here is this pen, what you're going to love about it, What you're going to love is when you pick it up, and long term, it's going to have the value because you've mirrored their words that made them happy. So now they've associated that with the pen. So I want you to take the pitch out, and I want you to focus now on tell me all about you. And in whatever area you're selling, tell me all about you and what you've experienced there. And now you plug in their words to sell what you have to sell. So, how to master the art of sales. We have a training program, and what we have found works best for sales professionals. It is really, really a good idea that you immediately correct any problem that you are having in sales. So, for instance, if you were never given any type of formal sales training and you've basically done on the job and your sales are inconsistent, and anytime anything goes wrong, whether it be in the economy or whether it be a bad day with the customers that you've had or you yourself are having a bad day, then your sales fluctuate. They fluctuate even more so because you didn't come in with a strong foundation. Or let's just say that you have been in sales for a long time and you have all of a sudden hit this wall. Now, every sale has a sales cycle of ups and downs, but I'm talking about where it's been a consistent down and you can't get out of this slump. And what that does to your sales is, because whatever is causing this, it's snowballing. It's having a snowball effect on you. So your sales are even, it's harder for you to get out of that slump and get some momentum in the opposite direction. What it means is that you need to either be trained, you need to get training on from the beginning, the foundation of sales, and you need to get that so that no matter what's going on, whether it be in the economy or your customer, you're consistently getting really good sales. Or if you're new to sales and you have never been trained, you need to get the foundation so that whenever anything hits, it doesn't affect your sales. Or if you're struggling to believe that you can even do sales, you simply don't know if you have what it takes, and you need to be given the tools so that you can feel confident enough to be successful in sales. If you fall into any one of these categories, what works is that you take immediate action. And the reason why I say that is because every time you prolong, you lose money, you lose time, you lose confidence. And if we go into a recession and you're at the bottom in terms of your sales numbers, you could lose your job. So we know the urgency that having poor performance causes. So what you can do is come to us and do a sales training to master the art of sales. So you want to go to www.salestraining.org and schedule a meeting with us, and let us help you go from where you are to where you want to be. Again, that's www.salestraining.org. So it's going to be on the slide. You can go to our YouTube channel. The link is going to be there. Reach out to us and let us help you.